Oh, baby. Oh, fucking baby. You know what's coming up today. You know what's about to fucking happen. Oh, dear Lord. Bear Jesus has come back. He's here. He's awakened. He has bread jewels in both hands. And he says, you must sell. For all the fucking hate I got for saying Bitcoin could go to 40,000 bucks. Oh, baby. Oh, motherfucking baby. It's time. Holy shit, my head is going crazy. All right, let's get into the charts right now, my friends. Let's start off with Krown Chain Application over here on krownchainapplication.com. Sorry, that is app.krownchain.com.net actually. The link's in the description below. It is 100% free, and we have plenty to discuss today. All sorts of things to discuss today as Bitcoin does take the bottom side road after a little bit of a failed bounce yet again yesterday. Now down to the 200 exponential average on the daily. And what does that mean? Well, a little bit of a bouncy bounce implied, but as the dubstep music only comes in, it only comes in when the downtrend begins, my friends. And with that said, let's get into it right now. We do see plenty of things new on the dashboard here. We see open interest take another dump-ola right here, which is actually rather interesting as we do see it come down alongside Bitcoin, continuing on with the downside range, which does suggest that longs are essentially taking off their positions right now. And we are seeing that continuation of a change of behavior that we have noticed for, I don't know, I guess this happened, like a little bit later last week when we saw it break that $9 billion barrier. So this is why I want to follow up on over time, as more importantly, we do see that this obviously has implications with the price action. That was kind of a precipitating indication that Bitcoin was going to do something different. And within the context of a nice uptrend, what's something different? A little bit of a downtrend now, isn't it? Anyways, with that said, we do see fear and greed. It's actually at the exact same level as it was yesterday. I know Bitcoin dominance over here at 4020, which is a nice ripe number as well. And for the top 10 best coins, top 10 worst coins, we even see a couple of shitcoins over here going double digits to the moon style. Ravane, Bakery Token, Cello, Theta, Few, Hollow, and Polygon all on the winners list. And then we got some, actually no, we don't have, I was actually expecting to see some stable coins over here, but everyone else is more or less muted, very, very small gains. But hey, if you can even just print, if you can just even stay even right now, I'd say that that is more or less a win in this portion of the market. On the top 10 worst coins, well, we see plenty to go over there. Do we even need to pick on them right now? Yes, we do. Of course we do, man. That's what we're fucking here for, of course. Liz, Qtum, Venus, Stacks, Huobi Token, OKB, Near Protocol, Waves, Bitcoin, Gold, EOS, all getting smacked with the double red dildos on the face. And over here in the market data tab, what do we see? We do see, yes, that continuation on the open interest right here, alongside price action breaking the range as well. So yet again, it is a trend, my friend. The most simple style of trading is one of the most effective, funnily enough. What do we see over here? If that's a high, that's a low, that's a lower high, that's a lower low. What do we have? A downtrend, my friends. A downtrend on the daily for the first time in quite some time. And it is, well, very likely looking for a bounce right here. But overall, do I think that Bitcoin goes lower? Yes, but I don't think that Bitcoin has put in a macro top just yet. So, but with all of like the fun stuff to kind of shit on at the beginning of the, of a stream like this, all jokes aside, do I think that Bitcoin's done on the macro scale? No, it's not. It's extremely unlikely it is not. But that doesn't mean that we can't play at some significant downside, and that means very little for the overleveraged people out there who have liquidation prices. Like, they just have liquidation prices in general. Hey, what's up, bro? Oh, my lord, there he is. How you doing, Mr. Rowe? Mr. Rowe, an OG of the cave. And he says, I bought all the dips, every single one of them. I actually did a little bit of dip buying myself as well. It's kind of hard to ignore the 200 exponential average on the daily. But make no mistake, man, I'm looking to scalp that off, and probably relatively soon anyways as well. Might as well take it when the market gives it to you on those more or less somewhat easier trades, I'll say. I don't like to say easy trades. There's no such thing as an easy trade realistically, but you know, the obvious ones, the ones where I do feel quite comfortable putting on a decent amount of risk. So in this case right here, that would certainly be that situation. As I kind of peruse around the board here, we still see a lot of exchanges actually posting positive funding rates. Now, of course, it's not anything too crazy right here. We see Bybit, BitMEX, Huobi all positive, and Binance actually a little bit further out there, which is rather interesting. And Deribit is massively well, I wouldn't say massively negative, but definitely the most negative that we've seen in quite some time here. So that does suggest that we probably do have a little bit further to go. I really want to see a more conglomerated effect where multiple exchanges are posting negative rates, you know, probably another leg down on Bitcoin to really denote the next like obvious low. But for right now, Bitcoin very likely does have a low, a low in that it can work off of. But overall, do I think that the damage is done? No, I do not actually. So with that said, let's go. Should we go pick on the doggy coins today? Should we go do it? We can do that a little bit later, perhaps. I actually do have a lot of things to say about Bitcoin right here. Okay, so actually, let's start off with these charts today. Let's go over to Bitcoin and let's put on the daily. And of course, where are we right now? We have one of the most perfect tests of the 200 exponential average right there. But Krown, moving averages don't work. Well, seems to be working to me, as we do have a nice, what is it? About $2,000 bounce. No, actually just about $1,000 bounce off of it thus far. I do think that we're in for a little bit more here, but overall, I don't think that the downside is done just yet. Remember, over the weekend, we were giving some downside biases, and where do I want to go with this? Do I want to start with CME actually? Because CME might be a little bit better to go to right now. Do we want to go to CME? Yeah, let's go to CME. All right, let's do that. So CME is not hitting the 200 exponential average. By the way, little hint as to where it is right now, as it's all the way down to about 36,500-ish region. So overall, do I think that the downside's done? No, I do not. And this sort of gap down action right here over the weekend is pretty fucking bearish for the most part. So in this case, we do see momentum oscillators all on the same side. Remember, we identified this on, I believe it was the 11th of May. So that was about actually 6 days ago. So almost a week ago. And that was right on this high right here at about 58,000 bucks. Continuing to the downside ever since on increasing volatility as well. So I really don't like this. Well, I mean, it's not that I don't like it. It's just, if you want to be bullish, you probably don't like it for the short term. And then of course, after that, we did see that the RSI on the daily did touch into the bearish control zone for the second time. And usually, the first time is a quick down and out, as we saw right on over here. It's typically a pretty obvious buy area, as you usually do reject on the first test after, being away from it for a very long time. You see the same thing over here. Guess what? That was September. And a few other times in the history over here as well. Holy shit, man, what's going on over here? Oh baby, there he is, Nimbo. Yeah, the 2-day jewel sell signal read Elon's mind and new retweet. It's beautiful, man. It's fucking beautiful. What's up, Alex L? Today's T analysis. Fuck Elon. I actually would like to push back on a statement like that. I really don't think it I really don't think that it matters in the long run, to be honest with you. Honestly, man, if I'm just speaking personally here, like, I can actually kind of sympathize with Elon in a sense. Like, you have to read all of the fucking hate that he has going on Twitter. Like, I can barely even handle Twitter myself, and I have like nowhere near the amount that he deals with, and I can just imagine that that's gonna weigh on you over some time. So like, how much hate can one man take before he just says, all right, fuck you all, and starts deliberately manipulating, or you might even say. Anyways, with all of that said, as I just got a little bit sidetracked right there, I do still look for further confirmation to the downside. This is very obvious distribution pattern right here, and the breakage of that $48,000 level was the key indication of that. So I do believe that we're in a markdown phase right now. If you are a Wyckofian, which I actually think is a really powerful sort of analysis, but I want to offer up a little bit of hope on the other side as well. Okay, so we brought this up. We brought this up about a year ago, but I want to bring it up again right here. This is Bitcoin on Bitstamp, one of the most longest running exchanges with one of the most longest running histories here. And what I want to show you is why I do think that Bitcoin is doing something similar to 2013 over here, which ultimately was essentially a pullback, 50% pullback, that is. Maybe you might even call that a crash, within the context of a macro bull market. And what did we see? I mean, we saw a break above this prior high right here. This was December 2012, and then from that to your next sort of closing high was about 1,100%. If we take the wick high, I'm actually just curious where it would print as well. Yeah, about 1,700%. Very similar to what we're doing right here as well after breaking our prior highs. In fact, if we do actually just take it from our last major low, yeah, it's within the context of that as well. Anyways, more importantly, after that, Bitcoin does play out a pretty nasty downside move. Now, doesn't it? It pays out from closure to closure about 54% to the downside. Now, I want to point your attention now in this direction, because this is actually really important here, and actually would put a lot of weight on this long term in the most sincere tone that I can give right now. Let's talk. Hey, what's up, Bitcoin boogie? Mom, when is my 1 nano worth 1 fleshlight? Unfortunately, we're going to be waiting for that for a little bit, son. Until then, it's just mommy cleaning your old sockies, your old dirty, crusty socks. Anyways, we do see that over a long period of time, Bitcoin on the weekly RSI does have a nice behavior within the context of macro bull markets, where it does like to bottom out within the midst of, let me actually just do a horizontal line right here, between the mid zone and the bottom of the mid zone, as we identified about a week ago. Now, this is your 2013 low after that cycle high, of course. Now, overall, we do see several lows kind of put within this region. You could say that this is like your neutral-ish zone overall, which it is, I mean, by definition. And of course, above it, especially above like 55, you could say that we're more or less in a major uptrend. We might even say a macro bull market, although that wasn't necessarily true in 2019, but still, you know, a 4x off the lows, or sorry, about 3x off the lows almost. Or sorry, more than a 4x off the low. No, more than a 3x off the low, almost a 4x off the low. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Okay, cool. Anyways, what we're seeing right now is Bitcoin on the weekly RSI coming down to that same level that we saw in 2013 as well. That would imply that Bitcoin does have some more downside here, but ultimately I would be looking at that as a major opportunity over the long period of time, more importantly, because I do not think that Bitcoin's topped out right here. The reason why I do not think Bitcoin's topped out right here is for the same reasons that we posted, I think in a video I did about 2 to 3 weeks ago, describing what I'd be looking for on a macro major high. And in this case, we actually haven't really seen much of that behavior. So what would I be looking, or do we want to go over that right now? Maybe we don't want to go over that right now because it's, you know, it's just rehashing old things. But of course, you know, there are still several things still pointing to the south side here. We do see that, you know, weekly RSI still has a little bit more to go to get into that critical territory. We also do see that weekly jewel over here did get that sell signal on the 5th of April, now playing out. So if you do have the jewel, I just want to point your attention to these higher term timeframes. Yes, they do play out rather well, but as you can see, I mean, this one's taken more than a month thus far, and it probably, I mean, it's like a month and a half now, and probably has another, you know, couple weeks to go as well. I would be looking for a bounce off this fib right here, which I think is kind of what we're doing right now. And I do think that Bitcoin will bounce off this 200 exponential average on the daily. The question is, how high does Bitcoin get, and how much damage is unaverted? I think that Bitcoin would have no problem getting to, you know, 48 or 49,000 bucks. However, above there, things get a little more shaky. You know, I know that 51 and 52 is going to be a big target for a lot of people as well. So what we can do here is we can actually just take a bit of a bearish retracement, or actually, I guess I don't have any trend lines on this, so we have a fresh chart here anyways, so we can just do it like this. And let's take, should we want to take a bullish or bearish retracement? Let's take actually a bullish retracement. Let's take a bearish retracement in this case. I mean, it's all going to be more or less the same anyways, just different numbers. But yeah, we actually do see the 618 coming in around 50, actually right below 56,000 bucks. I think that would be quite the stretch. 0.5's coming in right around 53 and some odd change. 382 is going to be about 50,500, and that is typically where things will retrace back down to, or back up to, in a more or less weak market. In an extremely weak market, we'll see the 236, but I'm not so certain where I'd kind of rely on that. I'd like to keep an open mind with this. I do think that Bitcoin's in a bouncy territory here, nonetheless. But overall, does Bitcoin has more continuation to the downside, as we did say, I think over the last week or so? Yeah, I do think so. And overall, I do think that it eventually becomes a major opportunity. Now, what we can also do here, if we do go back to that 2013 segment over here, what I want to do is I want to actually throw on a bear, or do I want to throw, I just want to throw on a retracement. Let's take a bullish retracement on this one. And what are we going to see? Or actually, sorry, let's take it from the prior breakout. There we go. And let's take it right to there. Okay, excellent. I did this wrong, actually. So let's flip this around. There we go. Okay, nice ones. We're going to take a bullish retracement from the prior breakout of this cycle to your next major high on a closing basis, but specifically. And where do we bottom out at? Right at the 618, right around 71.5 bucks. Again, keep that in mind. We're going to go over here to our same sort of territory. And where did Bitcoin really start to break out? You know, it depends where you kind of take it from, but I'd say right here. And where is that 618 coming in around? That 618 is coming in around about 35,000, or sorry, yeah, about 35,000 bucks, with areas of interest along the way at the 0.5 at about 40,000 even, and then we're right now right around the 382. So all of these areas are going to be relevant, I do believe, for nice bounces within this territory. But if we are going off this, historically speaking, you know, I would be keeping a keen eye on this, of course. So with all of that in mind, I do think that Bitcoin has more downside here. I ultimately think that it will turn into another major opportunity long term, however. But, you know, I know that a lot of people are very, very scared about this sort of thing right now. As we said last week, I do think that Bitcoin's doing something like this, where we're going to see like a reaccumulation, something, you know, something to this effect, and then try again higher, you know, maybe later this year or early next year, something like that. Again, remember, Bitcoin went basically 3x off the prior high, pretty much unabated this whole run through, and basically, you know, more than 1,000% over our last yearly lows, essentially. So this is, you know, to be expected. And I do think that, you know, after having about what, like 8 or 9, or how many green months was it? It was actually like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6 just straight fucking moonshot months right there. Yes, a couple months of pullback is very much reasonable. You know, this is the craziness that goes on within this market. If you've been here since 2017, which I know a lot of people have, in 2018, you know that this is very, 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 very similar to the feelings back in that time as well. So, you know, I want to offer up a more long-term view on this, but I also want to offer up a bit of an opportunity as well. Not that it's necessarily hopium. I think that this is more or less just classic shit. And what do we have right here? We actually do have a long-legged doji dildo with taking out the downside of it. So we do actually have a bit of a monthly reversal in progress here too, and also taking out the exponential on the RSI right there as well. Hey, what's up, Fabs? Sir, Ha Bear, Jesus Pi cycle, Jesus Pi indicator top at 60,000 bucks. Yeah, man. In hindsight, Pi cycle indicator nailed it, fucking nailed it. For all the shit that I gave it, it was certainly unwarranted, and I'll have to eat my words on that one, but that's okay. At the end of the day, man, we still got the direction regardless of that. Over the long period of time, and what do you know, man? What do you know? It actually called it pretty much to the fucking tick. Oh dear Lord, how arrogant can I get? Yeah, a few days after that, actually. Funny how that works, my friends. Funny how that works indeed. Anyways, I want to go back on over here to this chart, and there's something else that I wanted to bring up. What exactly was it? Yes, that's it, the hash ribbon. So remember, I'm really not even looking for a potential low on Bitcoin until we get that buy signal on the hash ribbons indicator. And by the way, it's actually loosening on its sort of signature here as well. You want to see this more darker green before it actually prints a full green, and then after the full green you get a actual blue official buy signal. And then after that, as we've identified over the long-term analysis videos, which you can check out at any time that you want in the long-term analysis playlist, it typically takes about a week to 2 weeks after that signal in order to actually get the momentous drive to the upside. So in this case, I still think that Bitcoin is just in no way, shape, or form, even in a threatening posture to continue on to the upside to trending new all-time highs. And I still think that Bitcoin can get to 6 digits and beyond. Maybe not this year, but over time, of course. I think that this whole timing thing of it is just ridiculous to begin with. It's like people think that if Bitcoin doesn't get to 6 digits this year, it's never going to happen or something like that, or what the fuck. I don't know, but it just seems really, really silly to me. Anyways, looking at this right here, obviously we are not just not printing a buy signal, we are actually bifurcating these two portions of these two moving pieces of this indicator as well. So it's not happening anytime soon is what I'm trying to say. And as I'll go through a couple examples right here just to kind of give you an idea of what we might be looking at over time. But as you can see on this capitulation signal over here, let me just take off all the trend lines for right now. We do see that this one happens in about October 27, 28. We get the buy signal in early December on the 2nd of December. So a little bit more than a month. And then it's really not until about right here, the 14th, 15th of December, when Bitcoin starts actually moving and trending to new all-time highs. Now that is about another, like 2 weeks, right? So it's about a little bit over a month for the signal, and then another 2 weeks on top of that. So you could almost say about 2 months actually. And right now, or actually let's go through one more example too. Again, you can check out that video, or you can just back test this yourself if you so desire. But I can assure you that the results are very, very consistent here over the almost 12-year history of Bitcoin as well. Anyways, back on over here, we do see this capitulation signal right here. Boom, that is 23rd of May. We get the buy signal much later in 11th of July, so a little bit over about a month and a half, I would say. And then buy signal, which was again 11th to 12th of July to actual momentous move, was 25th of July, so another 10 or so days, I'd say, about 2 weeks. So we could say, effectively about 2 months. And what is Bitcoin doing right here, right now? Well, we did get the capitulation signal when? We got it on about the 23rd of April. So the 23rd of April to where we're at right now is about a little bit less than a month. We're about a week away from 1 month from that signal. And typically speaking, it does take a little bit more time on top of that as well. And then after that, about a week to 2 weeks for the actual buy signal, or sorry, for the actual momentous move after that. So I still think that we got, probably until the end of this month at the very least, maybe a little bit later in June. I don't think that is a hard and set rule, but overall, I do think that Bitcoin, very likely will set up for it. Obviously, it's kind of by definition that it will at some point, but it'll take a little bit of waiting. So until we get something like that, I'm not even going to be in of the opinion that Bitcoin's going to be continuing with trend to the upside, anytime soon, essentially. So I do think that as long as that condition is not met, I'm essentially just looking for continuation on this trend right here. And guess what? We are trending below the bottom side Toronto band right now. We're continuing with that trend that we saw happen on, I think it was Thursday or Friday for CME. CME was a lot more of an obvious chart. Yep, it actually happened Thursday, 12th of May right here. Then got its secondary close below on Friday, and now continuation below. Classic fucking shit, just gap down. And does it imply that we have more downside? Probably yes, over time. As long as we are trending below the bottom side Toronto band, it's the exact same interpretation as we were looking at on when it was trending above the top side on the way up. It's just now, we have a downtrend, of course. So with all of that in mind, what I could also say is that I would be looking for a greater bounce on Bitcoin, specifically if Bitcoin does close above the bottom side Toronto band. Currently, that is trading right around about 44,700. That is. So if Bitcoin can close above there today, or you could just say 45,000 bucks, I would be looking for the next sort of bounce to come in, and it can come in anywhere around, let's just call it 50,000 bucks. I don't really have specific targets for it. We overlaid some areas of interest there, of course, at the beginning of the stream, but there's no like hard and set rules for that. This is kind of like the difficult part of this. But overall, we do have a Wyckoff top right here. And well, now that we've resolved to the downside, I'd be looking for a markdown phase overall. And areas of interest to the downside after this, where would I be looking towards? Well, we looked at Bitcoin at around 35,000 bucks perhaps. The 200 simple is obviously gonna be a nice bouncy bounce area as well, perhaps even a major low. It's definitely possible. That's at just below 40,000 bucks right now. And then after that, yeah, about 35,000 bucks where I'd kind of be looking towards. And then we'll come back to it there. Hey, what's up, Alexander Marks? Are altcoins all gonna be done for a while too then? I would imagine so, although we did see a couple altcoins over here on the dashboard actually having some nice days. So it could be that the market is maturing and we actually do see bifurcation for the first time that I'm aware of in this market history, but I wouldn't be willing to call that until we have like a real like long running concerted effort of that. So I'd say in the majority sense, yes, I do think that altcoins will get absolutely fucking shafted on. If we go over here to the Bitcoin dominance, we did just about hit that macro area that we spoke about over this weekend. Okay, I don't know what this dump is right here, to be fair. I think that that's just a bad print from TradingView, but we do have our nice little levels right here. And yes, it just touched down right into it. I think that we're going to get maybe one more slight move there. And then set it up for a nice bouncy bounce. Now, long term, I mean, I don't really care about formations on this or anything like that. But long term, I would express my doubts that this actually continues on with like a long term uptrend. But I do think that we're in for a bounce here, and a bounce within the context of the Bitcoin dominance chart obviously does imply that altcoin Bitcoin pairings will be going down. And within the context of Bitcoin going down versus US dollar, then it would only have to happen that altcoins go down versus US dollar as well. There's a lot of assumptions there, to be fair, but as you can see there, you can kind of chart this, or you can kind of see how that would work for yourself over time. But that would be essentially what I'd be looking for, honestly, as we just have not seen that throughout the history of Bitcoin. Doesn't mean that it can't change, but as a trader, one thing that I've learned is until you get hard and fast proof that something's actually changed as far as the trend goes, it's really not wise to front run a decision like that, because well, what's the most likely thing for a trend? The most likely thing for a trend is for it to continue. Just like we were bullish on Bitcoin pretty much the whole way up from the weekly macro point of about 11,500 bucks, regardless of some of the pullbacks within there, now it's time to kind of be on the other side of that as well. Now, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about this. They're going to be talking about the weekly 21 exponential average right here, which Bitcoin popped up like what? It rallied like what? Like 2,000, 3,000 bucks right at the end of the weekly close right there, in order to kind of salvage it. I don't think that is, I think that, again, we're doing something similar to 2013 over here. And guess what? Did Bitcoin break and close below the 21? Yes, it did. In fact, this actually looks rather similar now, doesn't it? A little bit of a distributive top right here, bases on the 21, breaks a 21, quick down and out, and then back up. That's essentially what I'm looking for. So again, I do think that it's relevant to be looking for Bitcoin honestly below 40,000 bucks. Could I be wrong on that? Yes, absolutely. So there always has to be conditions for reversal on the other side. And that would be, well, if we go back down to a daily, where would our trend be reversed over here? Well, seeing as we're quite literally in the midst of a downtrend, it's not happening anytime soon. I mean, here's your last lower high right here, right below 59,000 bucks. So is that gonna, until Bitcoin actually like puts in a low, puts in a higher low, puts in a high, puts in a higher high, I just don't really think that there's anything more than bounces to look forwards to for, maybe like the next month or two. Again, I've been saying this for a while, and I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. It's just, look, like, the markets can take a long time. The market is not here to just be generous to everyone. Fucking obviously, it's not just here to just go straight to the fucking moonshot as people on Reddit Doggycoin would have you believe. No, the market, does the ebbs and flows, and it has to shake people out, obviously. And I think that's what we're doing right now. And long term, again, I do think that this run continues to the upside. I don't think that Bitcoin's done long term. In fact, I think Bitcoin, honestly, the more that it spends going sideways within this range between about 35,000 and 60,000 bucks, the more long term healthiness I would imply from that, as the breakout likely does get bigger. The bigger base that you build, typically the bigger expansion phase that you do build as well. So with all of that in mind, I do want to have like a positive message at the end of this. I don't think that Bitcoin's like reversing back down below 20,000 bucks or anything like that. I think that's very, very silly. I think that the market's kind of playing with everyone right now. And everyone's kind of focused on like what Elon does, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, Elon didn't even say, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but Elon didn't even say that he's selling. He just said indeed to a tweet from actually someone who apparently is a known scammer. At least that's what I'm getting from, I think it was Nomad. Actually, let me pick this up. Let me pick this up right here. There's a great guy on Twitter. His name is I Am Nomad. Let me just pick him up. And he's been around for a long time. He's like a true OG. I'm not an OG myself. I consider like an OG if they, I don't know, if they've been around since like before like 2015 perhaps. And this guy has definitely been it. And he has actually called out this guy, wherever the fuck it is. Oh, God damn it, man. You tweet too much, man. Can't find this. But that guy who made that tweet, I think it was like Whale something rather, where is it? Fuck, man. I know it's here somewhere. I know it is. China bans Bitcoin again. Oh, that's great. Oh man, I can't. Is it where is it, motherfucker? No man, stop tweeting so goddamn much. Yeah, this is it right here. This guy is like an actual known scammer. Apparently, Billy was the guy who tweeted towards Elon Musk, and the one that Elon Musk, replied basically, indeed, right? So you know how much weight you put on something like that. I think that's like really silly, to be quite honest with you. But here's the thing: big market movers, people with very big accounts, they will play into news like that because they know that it'll scare a lot of the, maybe newer and less experienced traders or investors, if you will, and they can force them out of their positions with relative ease. And I think that's exactly what happened here, and they're causing a bit of hysteria. So overall, I do think that Bitcoin is still going to be more or less fine long term. It's just, can we play at a month or two of downside? Yeah, absolutely, and that would actually be probably long term healthy, especially as long as Bitcoin just doesn't take out this last $30,000 low right there. Hey, if that happens, a little bit fucked actually, a little bit fucked. But for right now, Bitcoin's going to be playing out a big range, and I'm basically looking for a boring phase once again. It's no secret that Bitcoin loves to put in like these 2 to 3 month long consolidations where it essentially puts in typically a reversal, sometimes continuation. And those are usually the times when people stop talking about Bitcoin, people stop paying attention. And that is exactly what you kind of want to be seeing, to be honest with you. You want to see people lose interest during those times, because when they lose interest, that means that it's time for the bigger accounts to be accumulating. It's time for, actual things to be going on underneath there. And you want to get all of these maybe not necessarily speculators, that's the wrong terminology, but you want to get all of these, what's a good word for this? Like, the kind of people who just, they kind of just lick their finger and put their finger up in the air and just see where the wind's blowing. They want to get those people out, fucking obviously. And I just used the goddamn termed they, which I absolutely hate, but you know what I mean. Market movers, which is a real thing. That is a real game. And yes, games right now are being played abso-fucking-lutely. Anyways, is there anything else that I want to talk about before we get into actual comments right now? Holy shit, man. This has actually been a pretty damn good day. There's been very little comments. What's up, Hamilton? I see you over there. By the way, Hamilton, I've been checking out your, yeah, there it is. Crypto Whale. Yeah, Crypto Whale. That's it. Guys, check out Hamilton's channel, by the way. He is great. I really like his personality too, man. Good guy. There he is, Mr. Z-Rex. Yeah, froth would be a good word for that as well. But Krown, I'm a Shiba millionaire. Too bad Shiba's worth less than a fucking penny, I think. Well, maybe not. I do want to check out on Dogecoin right now. This is actually really interesting right here. Dogecoin actually holding up relatively well in comparison to the rest of the market. To be fair, we do see the weekly, however, is putting in a bit of a stagnation signal right here. I still think that Dogecoin comes back down, back down below 10 cents before this is all said and done. But that's going to take a long time, man. That's going to take a long time. It's going to be the slow bleed effect over the next probably year or a year and a half on this one. And if Bitcoin if Bitcoin tries again to the upside, this one will follow as well. Let's see. God damn it, Scott Carney. There he is, Scott. Hold on. Let me polish off this coffee, and then we'll get into perhaps some analysis of the shitty shit coins. If there anything else, do we want to talk about Ethereum? We could talk about Ethereum, I suppose. But let me finish this off right here. Oh, there it is. Okay, there it is. All right, we'll get into Ethereum really quickly. Let's see, what is Ethereum doing on the weekly right here? Again, Ethereum can have some downside, no doubt about that. But do I think that we found a nice local low for the time being? Yep, classic 4-hour 200 exponential average right here, bouncing it up. Similar to Bitcoin on the daily, although Bitcoin on the daily being a much more powerful time frame, obviously. But ultimately, they're going to play together. They're all going to play within the same sort of realms here. So I would be looking for a bounce on this one as well. This one can bounce all the way up to like 3,500 or 3,600 and really not do anything of particular, interest here. But I do want to point out this classic 2155 cross right here, getting that downside move. Absolutely fucking love it. In fact, this one was this one was foreshadowed by Caretaker's reverse. reverse moving average crossover right here, where you could actually front run it on this dildo. It was actually a pretty damn good trade. I didn't take it myself, but there you go. I mean, they don't happen all that often, but when they do, they're actually rather quite powerful. On top of that, we do see that 4-hour BBWP is getting into basically the 100 percentile right here. In fact, it is 100 percentile actually. So I would be looking for a little bit of sideways, a little bit of a bouncy bounce, and then, you know, if Bitcoin wants to take back on over and play another downside move in the next couple weeks to come, I'll probably be looking for something like that. And I imagine Bitcoin probably did something similar over here too. Actually did not. 4-hour did not hit the 100 percentile. It did get to about 94.44. Pretty damn good, pretty damn high. But do I think that we could maybe fish a few more wicks down around the 200 exponential average on the daily? Yeah, absolutely. You know, this bounce probably takes a little bit of time to happen. And by the way, we have that same cross happening on Bitcoin over here. It's like Bitcoin's daily is almost akin to Ethereum's 4-hour, which is kind of weird. But yeah, we do see the 21 cross on the downside of the 55 on this failed bounce attempt to right around 51,500 bucks. I believe that was on Friday or over the weekend, and then continuation to the downside. Anyways, okay, cool. All right, we'll get on to the shitcoins over here. God damn it, Scott. All right, Scott. All right, let's look at ALYI. Oh, Scott, he must be trolling me at this point. Okay, so what did we say on this one weeks ago? We did say, you know, long term, I'd never like charts like this. I always express major doubts with chart like this. And we coming down to the 55. Yes, it very likely does. It very likely does bounce from this region. But do you have a break of structure here? Yes, absolutely you do. And I would be looking for further downside over the next couple weeks to come. Very likely back down somewhere around 30, or sorry, that's not 30. That is 3 cents. That is 3 cents actually. Looking pretty fucking nasty there, to be fair. Let's look at the monthly as well. Yep, monthly very likely tries a little bit of a bouncy bounce here. But ultimately, I do think that this one probably ends up going for the full retrace, to be honest with you. I really do not like the way that all these moving averages are kind of postulated right here with all momentum oscillators not suggesting good things. We see monthly TSI looking like it's certainly losing momentum right there. Monthly RSI rejecting the critical zone, which is, you know, pretty natural in your first test. So it's not necessarily a death sentence, obviously, but I do express concern with this long term after a bit of a bouncy bounce here. How high can the bouncy bounce get? Anywhere around 5.5 cent is fair game. I mean, it's still just lower highs here. I have no reason to be bullish on something like this as long as it is below this 7.3 cent. And yeah, it looks like we did chart this out as a descending triangle last week, or whenever Scott asked about this one last. And I'd say that this one's on the precipice of breaking down. It's got very little room to kind of move in here. Maybe one more failed bounce, and then I'll be looking for the next markdown, probably somewhere down around 3 to 4 cent region, and then very likely a bounce there. All right, we can check out Mr. Lucas DeGrasse. What's up, man? But sir, Buterol promised me riches. Well, actually, again, you know, just like Bitcoin, I don't think it's done to the upside long term. In fact, I do still think that Ethereum continues on with Bitcoin long term. But is Ethereum and Bitcoin pretty much related to each other on the whole? Yeah, they are, and so it's, you know, they're very likely to move with each other on this next segment right here. I know it's a little bit of a flippant comment to be fair, but you know, if we were to go back into Ethereum here, it's pretty much the same thing. I do think that Ethereum is gearing up for a bounce, maybe a few more wick fishes somewhere around 3150-ish region, but ultimately I do think that plays out a bit of a bounce before another potential continuation drive to the downside. But I think Bitcoin's just an easier chart to be looking at right now, so I would pay more attention to Bitcoin. Also, the big key for Ethereum Bitcoin was what we spoke about over the weekend, and I think at the end of last week, we did hit essentially a macro area on the Bitcoin, on the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing, that is. Hey, what the fuck? Did it not save this chart? God damn it, TradingView. Wait, maybe I did it over here. I think I did actually. Yeah, okay, cool. And let's throw that on. Yep, there it is. Okay, so we just barely grazed the top or the bottom side of that blue box territory. I would be looking for this one to simultaneously probably test it again, but also come back down to about 7.1 million Satoshis, that is, and play it a bit of a sideways and down here. I think this thing can easily come back down to like low 6 million Satoshis, but long term, I still really like it. I still think that the Ethereum Bitcoin pairing gets up to like 0.1 and probably beyond long term. But for now, it's the same thing as Bitcoin, right? This thing went unabated to the upside. Is it relevant to be looking for your first sort of pullback after just straight green? Yes, it is. This is very reasonable as far as markets go. The problem is, though, is that we fixate on the numbers on the right hand side over here, and it gets very confusing because they're rather large, obviously. But if you were to just get rid of these, you know, and you just looked at the chart as it is, you say, okay, yes, we hit a macro level right there. All right, very likely pullback. You know, people are going to be taking a bit of profit right there. Long term, though, I still like it. You know, as long as this thing's above, as long as this thing's above like 4 million Satoshis, this thing's bullish as fuck long term. But that can take some time. That can obviously take some time. Oh, Mr. Caretaker's in the house and Nimbo. Fuck yeah, man. I see you, Crypto. I see you. Who else is here? I see Mimi's that butter my biscuit. Hold on, let me. Oh, fuck, I lost my spacey once again. Okay, I found it. Johnson says, stay at a BTC one day, Krown. Thanks. All right, let's check it out. Let's see how the altcoins are doing. I'm actually very interested to see how altcoins are holding up here, because that can be indicative of you know, of perhaps a change in this market. But this is obviously bullish. This is obviously fucking bullish right here. I'd be looking for this to pop back up to about 23,000 Satoshis. I actually really like this chart for what it's worth. I see no real reason to be bearish on this thing as long as it's above about 18,500 Satoshis long term. And even looking at the weekly, yeah, still more or less fine to me. I see a bit of a bullish reset on the weekly DMI ADX, but I want to see the next tick actually get a positive slope on this. Go down to the daily, and the DMI plus is starting to build a signal, but I want to see it officially get there. If it can do that above the threshold, I'd look for that short-term move up to about 23.2 to 23.5, and then probably continuation of the prior highs of this run. And could it just blast off to new all-time highs after that? Yeah, it's possible. Definitely possible there. All right, sweet. Crypto Soup says, hey, man, what's up, man? Wish you a great week. Hey, you too, brother. Cardano USD weekly and monthly, please. Cheers. Okay, Cardano USD. All right, yeah, this one would be a good one to check out as well. This one actually hit our 225 target from like a month ago. And what now, sir? What now? Actually, let me just confirm. Wow, it actually blasted through there. Almost 245. Jesus. Holy fuck. Powerful Cardano. I'm not bearish on this chart. Call me fucking crazy, man. I'm not bearish on this chart. This is a pretty good chart thus far. Still, it is losing momentum here, to be fair. I mean, you can obviously see that from the volume signature. But do I think that it has one more up thrust? Probably yes. Where would be the next relevant region to be looking towards on the upside? I mean, you got $2.5, but you pretty much already hit there. So what do we have after that? We got, holy fuck, man, this thing... 275. Jesus, man. Yeah, pretty good chart, actually. Very, very interesting to see. And this could be the first time that I really feel like we have a bifurcated market here. I mean, Cardano is... like, it's not just not following Bitcoin, it is moving quite literally in the opposite direction of Bitcoin. It's breaking out again. As long as this thing's trending above the topside Toronto band on the weekly, I'm bullish. Daily, could we play at a bit of a pullback? Yep, could come back down to about 185, no problem. But overall, I'd be looking for a bounce there. I see no real reason to be bearish on this thing as long as it's especially above about $1.5. But that's way far down there. Perhaps that's too risky for a lot of people out there. It's only way too risky for myself. So take it as you will. Let me just go check over here. Are we still good over here? Ooh, I am still good over here. Okay, this is actually really, really nice. Hold on, let me just manage a few. I actually have a lot of trades going on right now. This is the first. This last like week and a half was really like the first time that I started trading the lower term timeframes quite heftily again. There's just so much fucking opportunity right now. With all this nonsense going on. So I am actually very, very, as a trader, I'm very happy to see something like this. As a as a crypto enthusiast, I suppose. Well, I can understand this definitely hurts a lot of people, but hey, at the end of the day, man, this is why I do think it's very, very valuable to have some trading skills or just understand where things are within the market. As there's no well, I'll just let the chart speak for itself. How about that? Instead of wrestling from some jimmies there. All right, let's see. Shauna Twerk, Mrs. Miss Twerk, hello. Hello, sir. I am a she. Oh, it's a lady. Everyone act cool. We have a lady in the house. Please look at Hex Daily Weekly. Holy shit, man. What's up with all the what's up with all the hexes recently? I'm guessing you want to look at it versus USD. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, Hex holding up relatively well here too, but well, actually, Hex holding up pretty damn well here. To be fair, did we hit our almost 8 cent target? Hey, where was, must have been on this chart over here. I think I had a target at 7 or 8 cent. I just want to see where it was. I want to see if I was right. Of course, no, that is obviously ego speaking right there. Let's see. Yeah, we did hit. Yes, we did hit. Yes. Hey, nice one. All right. Every once in a while, that TA bullshit works. I do think that Hex probably has one more move here. It's kind of similar to Cardano, man. An obviously different chart than Bitcoin. This one breaking above its prior highs. It's hard to hate, at least on the weekly. But what time frames did you ask about? Yes, you asked about daily, weekly. Let's go down to the daily. Daily looks like a bit of a pullback to me. I would be looking for a move down short term, just below 4 cents, but a bounce there. Weekly, I don't hate it, but I do see a lot of things that do suggest actually a lot more downside on the daily. I see a head and shoulders on the RSI right here. and it's actually just freshly being resolved. Hey, get the fuck out of my face with this. It's actually just freshly being resolved right now. I would be looking for a move somewhere down into like the 55 region on the RSI right there and play that move out. But the weekly says not time to be bearish on this one long term. I'd probably be looking for a backfill in last weekly open, which funnily enough, that actually aligns up with the daily targets right below 4 cents or right around 4 cents. Probably a bounce implied there, and then we'll come back to it after that. But hey, yeah, you know, another chart that looks completely different to Bitcoin, to be fair. So I do think that that deserves a lot of respect. And you know, we are seeing actually now multiple coins within this market that are, well, on a different side of the spectrum here, to be fair. Now, could this just turn into one massive swing to their pattern? Yeah, of course. Where would my where would my targets for that be? Basically back below 4 cents on a weekly closure. Yeah, you're fucked. But at least for right now, it looks pretty damn good, and I would respect that. It you know, for all the hate that Hex gets, I'm not making any comments on its underlying technology. I'll let other people tear that apart, you know, because I'm not the person to do that. But as far as charts go, it definitely deserves some respect here. Yes. Robert DeRue says, good morning. Hey, what's up, man? Could you check out the longer term health of Sushi UST? I don't think there's a longer term health for something that's been around for less than a year. So maybe a long term chart for this one is like a 4 hour. Yeah, here, actually, no, it has a little bit of history. Almost a year. We're getting close. You know, again, this one is similar to one of the other charts that we saw, but it's actually still within a range. I do think that you're going to come down and test the bottom side or somewhere around the bottom side of this range, probably like 1265 region. But if you're talking about long term, which you did specify, there's not really a reason to be like super bearish on this one long term, as long as it's above about 1075. So again, another chart that looks, this one is certainly not as impressive as Hex or Cardano, but I do think that this one has a little bit of short term downside, probably bounces over here at about $12.50. Yeah, $12.50, and kind of hard to hate in its current staturing. Yeah, this is very interesting here, very fucking interesting here with a lot of these altcoins. And of course, if Bitcoin starts bouncing, this thing probably does actually might even test down there. I mean, this is very interesting right now to see. We have not really seen something like this before, to be fair. Oh, and let's see, did I just get hit on that too? No, I did not. Hold on. I'd like to get hit on that. Please get me out of this. There we go. Nope, that is not what I wanted to do. Can't type in the early morning. Man, I got no fucking sleep last night. Not because I was watching charts, but because I literally couldn't sleep. I think I'm getting a little bit sick myself, actually. But yeah, if I'm looking at Sushi right here, actually holding the range very, very well. I do think that it plays within this range a little bit more. Probably another downside test, but I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. Daily TSI. If this one starts to turn down below the buy zone, though, I would look for a deeper retrace. But at least for now, I think $12.50, a nice little short-term base there. Okay, there we go. Fucking finally. All right. Thank you, Mr. The Evil They. The Evil They has come and filled me up. Thank you, sir. All right. I'll just get right there. Nice one. Super Googly says, I just want to thank you, Krown. Hey, man. My pleasure, I guess, but it sounds like you did all the work. Almost up 10 Ethereum now since your Cardano Ethereum analysis. Fucking nice, man. Hey, that's a nice little payday, isn't it? Could you please have a look at Link Ethereum daily and weekly to see if a similar play is possible at some point? All right, yeah. Link, another one of the more interesting charts for the past few years here. Let's see what it's doing versus Ethereum specifically, and not good. Not fucking good, man. I think this one's getting ready for a little bit more downside, to be honest with you. I really don't like the weekly. The weekly is in a fresh breakdown region. In fact, you do see a very clear and obvious distribution phase right here, or redistribution, I'd say. Something like this, not a perfect descending triangle, but the same implications. You know, can easily bounce back up to 0.012 butyrols or whatever the fuck that number is. But ultimately, I do think that this one will get into their markdown phase somewhere down around here to your prior major lows at about 86.51 Vitalik. There you go. Hey, man, and congratulations, 10 Ethereum. Pretty damn good, man. That's a very nice payday, and it sounds like in a very short time frame as well, man. That's what, like, well, it was about $45,000 now a little bit less, but long term, you know, I do think that it will recover. To be fair, it just could take a little bit of time. What's up, Abbott? What's up, man? Hey, Krown, good to see you. Good to see you too, man. Hey, nice. Yeah, just a nice positive message. Elsa is feeling better. She will absolutely wreck me if I discuss her situation. So I'll hold off on that. Mrs. Poopy Pants is in the shower right now, actually. So no girls allowed in this analysis. How about that? Anyways, Bobby Sam Dumu says Telcoin on the weekly versus Bitcoin on KuCoin. All right, TEL. BTC, and let's see what we got here. And you're looking at the weekly specifically. Okay. Oh, wow. This one actually does have some decent history. What the fuck is this? I can't do this on the weekly, man. This is, it's not gonna be too much. But, okay, now that we go down to the daily, it becomes a lot more clear. I actually do like this for what it's worth right now. So this is yet again another altcoin that is acting well. Let me take that one out. Yes, it is still relevant, but it's just getting in the way of my fucking eyes. I need to go down to like the very short term time frame. Right, this one's actually getting reaccumulated right here. You know, short-term base at 8,100. I'd be looking for this one to move up short-term to 9,750, maybe even 10,000 and probably beyond. 4-hour momentum also is turning back up above the zero bias read. 4-hour RSI cradling effect in the neutral zone. That is a bullish reset by fucking definition. I like it. This is fucking crazy, man. This is really one of the first times that I've seen altcoins do something very much different to Bitcoin, very much contrary to what Bitcoin's doing. So fair enough. Maybe we do have a maturing market here. It could be. It very well could be. DeCarlo Jenkins says, whoops, I just lost your message, sir. Let me scroll back on up here. Fuck, where did it go? Oh, dear Lord. We have a lot of messages today. This is going to be a crazy day, I think. XRP 4-hour daily. Sure, yeah. This is versus, I'm just going to do versus USD here. See what he's doing. Okay, yeah, Ripple not falling with the rest of the market, but I do still have Ripple within this ascending triangle, and it's hard to hate as long as it's holding up above these last prior lows at about 1.25. I do think that it has a little bit of short-term downside here, yes, but ultimately, well, it already played out that hidden bullish evidence. That was a nice move actually from 1.25 to 160, 161. I think that's very much relevant there, so fair enough on that one. But let's see how the weekly looks here. Yeah, a little bit of short-term downside. I'm not as confident on this chart, but I would stick to my rules here. I favor the uptrend as long as the uptrend is in place, and that is, again, about 1.25, as long as it does not close below there, especially on a daily. I'd also be looking at daily TSI to turn up as well, but that is obviously, I mean, it's actually kind of going for a bit of a breakdown right there, to be fair. Let's go check it out on this chart here, just see if there's anything, you know, of particular interest that I haven't already seen. Again, daily TSI, or sorry, daily DMI ADX is actually going for a reset right there. I'd be looking for this one to trade sideways. Daily is actually a little more bearishly imposed though. So I would be really quick to flip bearish on this one below about 1.25, targeting moves back down to about $1 even, maybe a little bit lower than that. But, you know, until that happens, I suppose I would favor it. I would hold great reservations about Ripple though, just based off of its history. It likes to pump and dump pretty much out of fucking nowhere. And seeing as we already kind of had a pump, could still be, you know, could still be a dump long term. Long term though, I do like it. Long term, actually, it's a hard chart to hate right here. I still think that it gets up to like 275, maybe even beyond over time. But you're asking about very short-term timeframes there, so I would just be looking for a little bit of a continuation drive down, and then hold your breath. That 125 holds. Hey, what's up, Mohammed? Just want to say thanks for sharing caution lately. No trades open, just watching and learning to do deeper analysis. That's fucking awesome, man. You know what, Mohammed? I actually really want to take a second to kind of focus on something like that. So there is something really powerful about knowing when not to fucking trade. And it doesn't necessarily mean that, like, you know, you're a bad trader because you don't know what's going on. No, it's completely fine, man. I do it all the time. I barely made any fucking trades on short-term timeframes for like 2 to 3 months, or maybe it was more like 4 months on the run from basically above like $25,000 to $60,000. I made very few trades, especially in short-term timeframes, if any. Just only very obvious ones, or at least ones that I thought were obvious. And that's completely fine, man. You know, trading is a game similar to poker, but unlike poker, you can just wait until you get the hand that you want. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, yes, there is opportunity costs, of course, but if you favor security, and if you're a more conservative trader like myself, then you'll probably be of the same opinion in that sense that, well, oh, nice. It just got filled. Okay, nice. Hey, another little prop taking move. Sweet. Where was I on that? Yes, it's completely fine to do that, man. It's completely fucking fine to do that. And good on you for having the maturity to actually wait. Many people cannot. Many people, always feel like they need to be in a trade. In fact, that was one of my big hindrances when I was first learning this. Like, I always had that feeling like I need to be in a trade because, you know, I was a professional market maker authorized trader. And it was like, this is my job. This is my title. If I'm not trading, then what am I doing? It's like, okay, well, actually, no, that's completely fine. You know, sometimes there's no trade to be made. Sometimes your edge is not giving you something to go off of. Fine, that's gonna happen, and it's actually quite healthy to take some time away too, man. I actually really enjoyed the last couple months here, just mostly watching and holding, and holding long. Completely fine, man. Completely fine to do. So good on you, dude. Good on you. Hamilton says, morning Krown, weekly close above 40K is solid for me. Have a great week. All right, man. All right, you too, brother. You too. Bitcoin bouncing a little more significantly now. Good on you, Mr. Bitcoin. Let's see what the lower term time frames looking like. Are we building up any sort of divergences right now? We got hourly bull div in place. So you know it's going back to the moon. Let's see how high this goes. So 2 hour, what do we see right here? 2-hour, show me the money. Yep, we have some bull div in place there too. Almost 3 drives. 4-hour has it in place too. 1, 2, 3, 4 drives. It'd be more like 3 drives to be fair. So yeah, I do still stick with what I've been saying. I think Bitcoin's in for a bounce here. Just bounced up another $2,000. So I'd say that's rather healthy. I'd say that's rather good. All right, nice one, Bitcoin, salvaging yourself and not looking like you want to do the dying swan formation for now. Lovely, man, fucking lovely. Damien says, can you do Uni? Can I do it? Yeah. Uni USD over here. We got Binance. Looking for a bounce on the short-term time frames, but what are you? Oh, you don't have a time frame. Oh shit, we have no time frame, and this one is not one of the more healthy-looking altcoins. I'll tell you that. This one coming back down below that prior breakout is typically not a good sign. Ooh, and I just got filled again. All right, we are almost out. Nicely done. Nicely done. It's good morning, my friends. Very good morning. Okay, but I don't know what time frame you're going to be going off of here, so I don't really know where you want me to go with this. But short term, similar to Bitcoin, I probably would be looking for a bounce off this level. If I can pull up a fucking weekly, that would be great. Trading View? Trading View is offline. Yeah, it probably does bounce back here. You know, it can bounce all the way up to like upper 30s, no problem. But is the damage done? Nah, I'd give it a chance to bounce here. I do think it'll bounce back up somewhere around like 36 to 39 region, and then pressure on once again. This is, you know, looking like a distributive top, so I don't think it's the most healthy looking as far as the daily goes, but short term, yeah, bouncy bounce implied. Johnny Pays says, hey boss, what's up, man? This is honestly my first rodeo is this bull run over in your opinion? No, I do not think so. Long term, no, I do not think the macro run is done. I have a video that specifically goes over like about 5 to 10 situations that I'd be looking for in order to declare a macro market over, a macro bull market that is over, and we haven't really seen any of those actually happen except for the pi cycle indicator. But just like 2013, I do think that eventually becomes like a major opportunity, not necessarily like a multi-year long downwards market, to be fair. So yeah, and you know, welcome to your first rodeo, man. You know what I'll say is it's actually nice bounce, Bitcoin, good bounce, baby, good fucking bounce. But I do want to kind of speak a little bit towards that, because there's a lot of people here, I'm assuming, that are kind of new to this whole market, and you know, it is their first rodeo, as it is yours. And you know what I would say is it's really a good time, if it is your first rodeo, to actually be doing a lot more watching than taking action. The reason why I say that is because the crypto market is actually very generous with the way that it kind of doles out experience in the form of playing out market cycles rather fast in comparison to traditional markets or Forex, which Forex is just like one massive oscillator, as my good friend Mr. Jack puts it. But with that in mind, that means that you can gain a lot of experience rather quickly. The problem is that a lot of people will gain a lot of experience quickly at the behest of losing their accounts rather quickly too. So what I would suggest is, you know, maybe don't be as active as a trader, or at least do a lot of watching and learning, as you said, which it sounds like you're already doing, which is awesome, man. And then when you go through another market cycle, you'll be able to identify things a little bit better. You'll have that prior conditioning, which really does kind of stick into you, as I'm sure a lot of people from 2017 and 2018 and prior cycles as well can attest to. So yeah, man, that should actually be looked at as, you know, a long-term good thing. Anyways, Bitcoin bouncing rather well. Lovely. That 200 exponential average being the savior of this market right now. It's all within the numbers, my friends. Kidding. It's a fucking joke. Frankie Gore said, he says XLM USD weekly monthly. Ooh, man. All right, I'm gonna go to Stellar's chart right here. Yes, it is symbol STR, but that's because I'm fucking old school, and I know Stellar back from the days when it traded on Poloniex. Very fucking good chart right here. Very good chart right here. I'd be looking for new highs on this one in the next couple of weeks. We just got a fresh closure above prior all-time highs. I'm almost never bearish off a signal like that. I do think that this one continues. So we have yet again another altcoin that is looking completely fucking different than Bitcoin. This one continues from here, very likely on the weekly. Now, short term, does it play out some downside alongside Bitcoin? Probably yes. But as Bitcoin bounces, I'd be looking for a lot of these bullish altcoins to put in some nice rallies. Actually, it's going to give them a chance to get to continue on with these and hit some of those more interesting numbers. But long term, I would look for Bitcoin's bigger moves to kind of judge the pullbacks in reaccumulation phases in a lot of these ones right now, as it does seem to be still, you know, in the driver's seat of this market. J3F, what's up, man? Can we look at Cream USD? Cream USD 4-hour and daily, sir, bruh. All right, Mr. J3. Man, where is J3? Sorry, is J6 trading? Cream USD. And you're looking at 4 hour and daily. All right, FTX over here. 4 hour daily looks okay. Daily looks okay. It's not as great as some of the other ones that we've looked at, but 4 hour. I'd be looking for another try. I'd be looking for a short-term try to the upside, 152.5 region. I like how 4 hour TSI is about to curl back up here. I like how 4 hour RSI is rejecting bearish control. I'd be looking for this one to pop up a little bit here. Again, alongside Bitcoin carrying out a bit of a bouncy bounce and rally back up maybe to like the upper $40,000 over the next over the next few days here. I think that we're ready for like a real bounce now. Okay, Nick says, hey, Krown, what's up, man? Can you check out XTZ USD on daily, weekly? Sure. This is Tezos? Tezos, yeah. That's Tezos. I think we actually need to go to, I think Finex actually for this one. No, it's actually Kraken that has the most history for this one, I do believe. And you're looking at daily, weekly. All right, we'll start off with daily. Bouncy bounce right here. Similar to Bitcoin, probably bounce back up somewhere around like 6.25 region. Weekly, okay. However, I do see multiple drives of bearish divergence here. I do like the uptrend, obviously. What do I favor more, trend or divergence? Well, the divergence, you could argue, has maybe played out. We did get nearly a move down to the 21 there, front run a little bit. Could there be another short-term downside move to like 470? Yes, but I would be looking for a bounce off there still. I do see momentum turning down on the TSI. I don't like that. Let's go over here to my other chart actually and see if anything more obvious pops up. I'm not really getting anything that's like too great there just yet. Short term, yep, bouncy bounce, very obvious on the 4 hour, but that's not what you're looking at. You're looking at daily, weekly. I'd give the daily a chance to put in a low here alongside a Bitcoin rally, but I am getting more signals of, at the very least, a bit of a reset here, a little bit of a sideways market. Now, here's an obvious thing that you can be looking at. If this thing does take out 445 to the downside, I would be looking for a catastrophic pullback, if you will, to about 260-ish region, 275 region. But until that happens, I suppose I would go with the current trend. That is one of my rules. As a trader, doesn't mean it's always going to work out. It just keeps you in these runs longer than it keeps you out of them. Justin Core, what's up, man? Hey, Krown, mind checking out AMD daily, weekly? I will check out AMD. A great chart, but a terrible fucking product. Absolutely fucking hate it. Jesus Christ, man. I've only had massive we have ourselves a reversal in AMD over here. Complex head and shoulders right here, double left shoulder to be fair, right shoulder right there, massive Quasimodo head, like a flat Frankenstein head, if you will. Short term, does it bounce back up maybe to like 79.5? Perhaps yes, could very easily happen, but overall, I do think that this one is ready for some more long-term downside. Targets would be down a little bit below $60 to like 58 to 55 regions where I'd be looking towards. Now, long term, does this chart deserve a lot of respect? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a really good chart long term, no doubt, but short term, a little bit of a bounce, and then more continuation on the weekly, which, yeah, you did ask about daily, weekly. Okay, cool. Daily bounce, weekly probably more downside. Abbott says, I've been backtesting a DMI cross strategy long when DMI plus crosses over DI minus and vice versa. And it seems interesting. Any experience with that? Okay, so basically what you're saying is that you're just looking at the cross between the DMI plus and the DMI minus. Do I have an experience with that? I mean, we can just backtest this really quickly. You're going to get a lot of one-off signals like this. That's kind of my problem with it. So you see this one right here on November 2017. That's kind of what I'm talking about. Now, let's see what actually happened on price action there. This was November. November? Where the fuck are you, November? Oh my God, I lost it. All right, let's just go with this one right here. That's November 27. All right, let's try this again. All right, November 27 was right here. So technically speaking, you do get a little bit, in your way, but I see a lot more of that happening. So what I like to use a DMI ADX in the way that I use it. I like looking at the threshold. Yeah, it's not going to be perfect, especially when you get counter trend signals on it. I would actually move the threshold up to like 25 rather than 24. But when you get signals on the same side, 24 seems to work rather well. So I'd say, it can work, yes, but I don't think it would be more like an expedited signal, right? It's not necessarily. Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck is going on with these people spamming? Thank you for taking care of that, Mr. Caretaker, my fucking man. Absolutely love it. But I would say probably not. No. I think that you're going to get a lot of failed signals there. The efficacy of your signals is going to be reduced drastically, I do think, than just using it in the way that in the way that I postulate. But maybe you have a higher risk tolerance than me. Very possible. In which case, maybe you can make it work. For myself, no, I probably wouldn't do that. Lord Stufica says VDHG. VDHG. This is some sort of Australian shitcoin here. All right, VDHG. All right, okay. some sort of an ETF. Looks good, or no, well, maybe not as good as I thought. Looks at least good for now. I do think it has a little bit of a short-term move to like 58.5 to 59. Weekly, toppy-ish. I really don't like the sell volume on this one right here. Now there is one obvious thing here about this. I would be massively fucking bullish on this thing with any sort of move back above 59 bucks. Massively fucking bullish for a retest of the prior highs here. But until that happens, I do think, well, let's see. Yeah, you're not really getting anything too obvious on this chart either. I mean, it is going to print a DMI signal soon. The DMI minus get creeping up there, but it's not that close just yet. So I'd probably hold off on like getting super bearish on this. I mean, your super bearish, obvious indication would be below this low at 57.25. Super bullish region above about 59 bucks. As long as you're kind of baking in here, technically speaking, yes, it is an ascending triangle, which should be reaccumulation. But what tells me it's not reaccumulation is this massive girthy red dildo volume right here. Do not like that one. So fair enough. I'd kind of just leave it at that. Jesus, man. A lot of Australians. Elian Morera says, VeChain USD, please, sir. All right. This is symbol VET USD and no time frame given. So I'm just going to go to probably daily. We got it going on over here. Where's Josh? This is his baby. His baby is getting a little bit wrecked, though, entering into a daily downtrend. I do think, similar to Bitcoin, probably bounces up a little bit here. I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of it on the weekly. I do think this one probably will come down with Bitcoin. Ultimately, somewhere around like 12, maybe like 11.5 to 12 cents long term. 4 hour, a little bit of a bounce from this region. Now, there is one thing that make me massively bullish here. A move back above 25 cents, massively fucking bullish, looking for new highs. But that is not necessarily what we're getting right now. Momentum turning down pretty much all the way around. So I'm a lot more inclined to go with the DMI minus signal right here, which is freshly printing, and daily MACD increasing on the momentum to the downside. So I do think it probably is a short-term bounce alongside Bitcoin. See what it looks like over here. And then I'd probably be looking for, if Bitcoin breaks down again, I'd probably be looking for this one to follow. But again, above about a quarter, I would be bullish on this one. Next sort of, tentative target's gonna be about 12 cents or so, a little bit above 12 cents. I just lost it again. Oh, fuck. All right, we just left off at E-line. Where is it? Oh, dear Lord. Oh, my God. Okay, there it is. Found it. Ha! There it is. Michael Crook says, can you check out NIO, symbol NIOs? Okay, let's check it out over here on New York Stock Exchange. Down. Down. Maybe a little bit of a short-term bounce here. No time frame given, so I'm going to go to a daily weekly for this, as it is a stock. I do not like breakages of the 200 exponential moving average on the daily, of course, or the 200 simple, of which both are looking pretty nasty there. Maybe a short-term bounce back up to like 36.25, but it's all lower highs below 43.25 to be quite clear. Do I think that this one eventually comes down to like 26.5? Likely yes. I'd say likely yes in this case. Let's see what the monthly looks like as well. Yeah, I do think the monthly is going to base off the 21 here and probably try a bigger bounce from there. But for right now, short term, maybe a little bit of a bounce, but I'd be cautious on this one. No real reason to be bullish off of it after a break of this what would be descending triangle. So we have a distribution pattern after a nice high. So that would be your next markdown phase now, wouldn't it? Let's see where this points towards. What do you know? About 25.5 bucks. Is that around that's around the weekly 89 and the monthly 21. Funny how that works, huh? All right, there it is. Hambone Crypto says, morning. Good morning to you. Can you check out Polkadot BTC? Okay, dot BTC. Daily, weekly. Okay, got it. Let's see what we got. This is monthly. Monthly looks good. Weekly looks really fucking good. Very, very good here. Again, another altcoin that is acting incredibly well. This is very, very strange. Just because we haven't really seen behavior like this on the macro scale before. This one's breaking out, or kind of breaking out on the weekly, but daily, getting that fresh retest of your prior breakout region. I have no real reason to be bearish on this as long as it's above 80,000 Satoshis. Now, if it does break 80,000 Satoshis to the downside, swing failure pattern, boom, back down, very likely to at least this low right here for 65,000 Satoshis. But I like the weekly. You have to be bullish on this one, man. I do like this chart for what it's worth. 4 hours seems to be trying to put in a bit of a higher low right there. Yeah, I'd give this one the benefit of the doubt, to be fair. What's up, AM? Good morning, sir. Good morning, Mr. Sir. Please, could you look at BitTorrent token, BitTorrent token, USD on the 4 hour and week? Wow, that's quite the different time frames there. All right, we'll look at it on Binance because Justin and CZ are in bed together. Let's see. Okay, well, I'm on a daily. You didn't even want to look at a daily. 4 hour, probably a bit of a bounce alongside Bitcoin. Weekly, I do think this one comes lower, back down to what is this? Not 443. Did you ask versus? Yeah, you did ask versus USD essentially. I'd ultimately be looking for a move down here overall. Maybe short-term bounce alongside Bitcoin, but there is very little reason to be bearish, or sorry, very little reason to be bullish on this one, as long as continue on with the downtrend. And where's our last lower high? Actually, significantly higher, to be fair, at about 0.008. So that's 0.8 of a cent right there. So, you know, this one can bounce around a little bit, can even bounce significantly here, but hard. I don't like this one as much as some of the other altcoins that are acting well. But as long as Bitcoin's bouncing, I do look for this one to probably trade back up, maybe like to 0.7 or 0.8 of a cent. Come back to it after that and see what's up. But for now, I think this one looks a little more cautious. Hidden bearish divergence accompanying on that last lower high too, on the 12 hour specifically. All right. Jimmy Bacchus says, yo, Krown, any other hobbies or interests you have other than trading, gaming? Lifting. I think I speak for most of your longtime viewers. If a day in the life of Krown vid came out, it would be well received. Hey man, much love to you as well, brother. You don't want to see my fucking day, man. It's boring as hell. I'll tell you what I do. It's very repetitive. It's very, very repetitive. I wake up around 5 a.m., 5 to 5:30 a.m. I do a meditation session for about 15 to 20 minutes. I read for about 30 minutes to an hour. Right now I'm reading The Comfort Crisis, which I cannot recommend more. A fucking phenomenal book. Holy shit, it's a phenomenal book. And then I basically prepare for, I prepare the stream. So I start looking at analysis and whatnot. But I like my analysis to be more or less fresh. So I pretty much do most of it on stream. Although maybe if I see some like very obvious beforehand, I'll talk about that. Then after that, I go to the gym for about an hour, and I do about an hour of walking, which I think is actually really important for myself as well. Good like reset. And after that, come back, eat a shit ton of beef. I bought a kilo of ribeye this morning, so I'm going to eat the shit out of that. Then do a little bit more charting, a little bit of gaming if I can, and then prepare for the nightly sauna session. And basically, it's at bedtime at about 8 or 9. So it's pretty fucking boring. It's pretty fucking boring, man. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see that, man. Hey, what's up, Lemon Tea? Dude Daddy says, hey man, hope all is well across the pond. Hey man, my pleasure, and thank you for that positive message. That's really awesome. James Joyce says, thanks. Hey man, my pleasure. Man, that is Jesus Christ, man. I got to stop myself, and like I really take comments like that to heart, and I do spend a lot of time thinking about that. So I do appreciate that, and please understand that like it's not, I don't just say thanks and just move on with my life. Like it's actually something that I spend a lot of time thinking about. Could you please look at Euro Pound on the weekly and monthly? I'm targeting new all-time highs above 110. Okay, nice. We got some Forex. I actually love looking at Forex. Forex is trades incredibly technically, and is and it's just always fun. It's hard to fall in love with these coins too. Okay, so you're targeting a new all-time high above 110. Well, short-term bearish as fuck here. I don't know about that, man. Weekly is also not looking hot. Lower high right here. Okay, high, lower high. Where's our last low? Low, lower low, lower high. You have a downtrend right here, man. Momentum's about to turn down again. I do not like this. And if volatility starts turning up alongside continuation of downtrend, I'd be looking for a retest of these lows over here, man. I'd have to respectfully disagree here. Let's look at the monthly. Could the monthly bounce up a little bit? I guess it's possible. Here's where I would be on the same, on the same sort of side as you. Although I'd still probably not be targeting 110. I'd be targeting like 95 and a half cent. Would be if we can take out last month high. If you take out 87.2 cent, yes, I would be bullish on this one, getting ready for a move way back up here. But I'm not necessarily of that opinion right now. I don't like the monthly jewel cell signal. In fact, I don't even think I've ever seen a monthly jewel cell signal, which is, well, I can only imagine. If you see weekly TSI turn down again, I would be looking for this one to break down. Actually, I'm not a big fan of it right now. Let's look at it over here, and maybe we can come up with something more bullish for you before I destroy hopes and dreams. Maybe there's some I'm not seeing. Let's see. Daily looks like it wants a bit of a short-term rally, maybe back up to 86.5 cent, but that's not what you're looking for. You're looking for like long-term moves. Weekly, I mean, you have momentum ticking up on continuation of downtrend. Weekly DMI printing a fresh bear signal. No, I don't like it. I'd be looking for another move down here, man. I don't think it's looking too good, too hot. Moon Raccoon, what's up, man? Can we please look at Sol BTC on the 4 hour specifically? Okay, SOL BTC, and you're looking, I don't know, probably Binance, probably the one to go to. Looks good. Looks very another altcoin that's acting incredibly well here. This is really thought provoking at this point. As I fucking stumble on my words with my stupid goddamn lisp. But but yeah, man, I'd be looking for new highs on this one. This is a fucking good chart right here. Daily DMI plus is obviously dominant. It is continues. MACD histogram continue with momentum. Same with the SMI trending above the top side trailing band. I'm not bearish on this. Where's next targets the upside? That would be the real question. You asked for a 4 hour. Oh, I am giving you a 4 hour. Okay, fair enough. Just take out the 1414, so I think you're getting ready to move again. I'd be looking up here. I'd be looking somewhere around here for the next sort of maybe more medium term stop. Let's see what the weekly looks like. Weekly's continuation. This is not a bad chart. This is not a bad chart at all, at least for right now. Looks good, man. So we see many altcoins actually acting very well right now. Extremely interesting. Jay Wasted Life says, hello, sir. What's up, man? When will you have another big program sale? Whenever the next big holiday is. I'm not really tuned in to like humanity right now with all the fucking news going on, man. I can't handle it. So I don't know. When is the next holiday? We got, I don't know. Should we do one for Memorial Day or wait until Midsummer? Midsummer's a big holiday here. It's a really big holiday here. In Finland, but I know that for the Americans out there, I don't know, maybe we do like a very quick one for Memorial Day and then do like an actual proper one for Midsummer. It'll be announced in advance, man. I never want people to like who are waiting for something like that to feel like they just got passed through, you know. So I don't know. At most another month, because I think Midsummer is like mid-June or something. So fair enough. Elsa, when's Midsummer? He's not responding. Please respond! Please respond! All right, well, she's not responding right now, so maybe she should go check on her. Yuri K, hey, thanks for that, man, but no message, so I'll say thank you, man. Thank you. What's up, Shibby? We got some turtles. We got some turtle emojis. What the fuck's that all about? We got a turtle market going on here. Let's see. Wait, what's up, Rochelle? Yellow boomer, sirs. I'm a boomer. I got boomer hair growing on my face. I'm losing all my hair up here, and I wake up at fucking 5 a.m. Oh yeah, I'm a boomer. What's up, Andrew? There he is. Any news? Oh, we got plenty of news, sir. We got plenty of news, sir. Plenty and plenty and plenty of news. Hold on. I think. Is it fuck? Okay, I see MK Crypto. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, I missed a few over here. Hold on. Let me scroll back up and let's do this proper. Okay, there we go. Found where I left off. All right, nice. If you're wondering what I'm doing right now, sometimes the YouTube just like decides to scroll through all the fucking comments and I lose my place. So I'm trying to come back exactly where we left off. There we go. All right, Mr. DeCamps, the Dominicans are up, baby, and they're back here. The Dominicans are ready. Your thoughts on Bitcoin? Thoughts on Bitcoin as Bitcoin loses dominance? Would alts taper their party or party harder short term? Here's a really interesting thing, Kendrick. We're seeing something completely different than what we saw in 2017 and prior cycles, actually. Now that Bitcoin's, officially in a daily downtrend, we don't see several altcoins following. In fact, I'd say we might even officially have a bifurcated market here. So what does that mean? What does that fucking mean? It means that no, not all altcoins I'd be looking for to get absolutely wrecked. Now, Bitcoin dominance, I would be looking for a bounce off this level on the whole. I mean, this is a macro area, or it's not on this chart, but whatever. We can just chart it off again. It's pretty damn simple. Right here and right here, I think it's going to get one more side swipe into this region, led by some of those more strong altcoins. And then I'd be looking for a great bounce off this region. I don't know about a reversal off this region, but a great bounce. So in the majority of altcoins will get hurt versus their Bitcoin pairing if and when that does happen. But for now, there are actually several altcoins that you can't ignore that actually are continuing on with their uptrends, not just like continuing, but making new all-time fucking highs. There's nothing bearish about that. So I do have to kind of taper my, I do have to start to, entertain the thoughts that, hey, we do have a maturing market potentially right in front of our very faces right now, which is actually a long-term good thing. And you should really, really pay attention to the coins that are doing well right now too, because they are the ones that are going to be, they are the ones worth paying attention to. What's up, Abbott? Thanks. Amen. You too, brother. I hope you enjoy your day. Have a nice little rest of your Monday. Is it Monday? It is Monday. Is it Monday? It's Monday the 17th. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. Time is a flying. MK Crypto says, how will crypto mining stocks will do in the upcoming weeks? Probably not well. Probably not well. I have a few stocks underwater. Should I sell or wait? Well, I'm not here to do your trades for you, and I don't know where your positions are. I also don't know what time frames you're trading. I don't know what that even means to you to begin with. I don't know what your risk tolerance is, so how could I ever possibly make a good decision for you? I fucking can't. I fucking can't. But I can look at a mining stock. I don't know. What's a good mining stock nowadays? I forgot all of them. I think I forgot all of them. Hold on, I might have a couple over here. Maybe I got rid of them too. Look, to answer your question, they're probably, if Bitcoin does not do well, they're not going to do well either. that is the short and narrow of it. All right. All right, let's see. We got hey, what's up, David? Hey, Krown. How you doing, sir? I'm doing all right, man. I suppose I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, a little bit sickness coming on, but it's fine. We can power through it, man. No one needs comfort like that. Okay, can we look at Monero? Yes. Monero is another one that I think I was looking at earlier, and it did look. No, well, short term, yeah, a little bit of downside, but I'm never going to be bearish on something that just broke through prior all-time highs. I do think that it will reaccumulate somewhere around this region. Let's see what the daily looks like right now. No, daily wants some downside, to be fair. We do have a head and shoulders top in place too, so let's see what the measure move is going to be on this baby. Maybe we've already hit it. Nope, we have not. I would be looking for a bit of a markdown here, actually. Now, does it bounce alongside Bitcoin? Very likely, yes. Very, very likely, yes. And let me just chart it on this chart as well, just so I can make double sure, because I do like Monero. Actually, long term, I actually do really like this. So there's very little that's bearish about the monthly here. Well, except for the fact that we got a bit of a shooting star dildo right there. Okay, well, we'll just ignore that. I do think it's got some short-term downside, maybe to like 325, 350-ish region. All right, we're already at 350, so 325 would be the next area to be looking towards. But ultimately, I don't think it's done to the upside long-term. Just sort of short and medium-term downside, very similar to Bitcoin. So fair enough on that. I'd be looking for daily BBWP to get into the 100 percentile, or at least like deep 95 percentile, and then start to look for, you know, some bottoming behaviors. But for now, yeah, it is downside angled, yes. But long term, I mean, it's hard to hate anything that just broke above prior all-time highs, man. I'm not gonna be bearish on this one long term. I'd be looking for new all-time highs probably later this year. Oh, you did not give a time frame, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know exactly where to go with that, but yeah, a little bit probably does bounce up to level 2. It's going to play with, this one plays a little bit more with Bitcoin, it looks like. Hey, thanks for that, Ken Dobell, but no message. What the hell? What the hell? Did it again too. Appreciate that, man, but feel free to leave a message as well, brother. I'm trying to pull it up. I don't see any message from you though. All right. Hopefully I'm not missing some there. Hey, what's up, Mr. Henderson? Hey, Krown. Much love from Texas, my fucking man. Is there a more robotic edge you can recommend to a beginner trying to do the trading in the zone chapter 11? Okay, so I think that's maybe the exercise that, I almost called him Stephen Pressfield, but what is his name? Mark Douglas. Yeah. Postulates there. Okay, so what sort of like, okay, what's just the easiest way to trade? For me, the easiest way to trade is just looking at trend, right? So pick a time frame, something that's easy for you to be adherent to. I don't know, 4 hours, kind of like the going rate in this land. Doesn't move too fast, doesn't move too slow. And trade off the trend, or I mean, there's so many fucking ways to do this, man. Could you use moving average crosses? I don't know. If you played a death cross right there, nice move. Played a death cross right there, nice move. Fair enough. Several failed ones over here though, so there you go. You play with fire in this case. What would I do? Okay, well, I'll tell you what I started off with. Horizontal is just very, very cut and dry, marking off horizontal highs and lows on a relevant time frame. I started off in traditional markets, so that to me was like an hourly. So what would I suggest for you? What's like an easy noob type thing to do? I don't know, man. If you can learn to read divergences, I think that's actually a pretty worthy thing as well. Obviously I have Caretaker's RSI over here, so that makes things like significantly more easy, although it doesn't always get everything, and sometimes I do disagree with it. Every once in a while that will happen, but overall, I do like it. I think the easiest thing, honestly, is just learning how to define a trend, because honestly, the easiest way to trade is with the trend, in my experience. And yeah, it's not going to get you like the ultimate highs, the ultimate lows of shit, but it will keep you in these sort of nice trades for the most part. If you're trading the weekly trend, for example, you got long above like 12,000 bucks right here, and you really have a reason to get out until more recently at about 45,000 bucks. I think that's quite the trade right there. In a lot, it moves a little bit slower, maybe a little bit less sexy, yes, but I do think that trend traders have survived for a long fucking time, and there's a reason for that. I would not suggest learning pattern zone in crypto land. I don't think that patterns are as useful in crypto land. I think that they can play out. We have several guys in the Discord who rely solely on them. Fair enough. That is that is their prerogative. It's not for me. Although I will call it like triangles for the most part, which do seem to work out rather well. But other than that, man, it's completely up to you. I'll just postulate like those sort of more basic ones. A momentum loss sort of like RSI, defining divergences, pretty cut and dry shit. Horizontal levels on local lows and local highs. If you want to scout those, completely fine as well. That's mostly the way that I trade myself, and also just defining trend. So that would be like 3 somewhat easy ways to kind of do it. There you go. What's up, Jordan Chen? Hey, boo. What's up, boo boo? SRM USD on the 4-hour pre's. Okay, SRM US derp. What the fuck is it? Serum. Okay, I've never heard this one. But hey, another decent altcoin chart. Let's see what it looks like. Hey, there's your bullish divergence off that low. By the way, short term, I'd be looking for it to reapproach like 11 and a quarter or so. Weekly, still a decent chart. Still an uptrend. Hello, sir. Sir, when is midsummer? Can you speak? When? 20 of June. All right, that is midsummer. Elsa says I never listened to her, but well, that's because she's a girl. Anyways, I'd be looking for this one to pop back up. 11.5. Daily trend still intact. Hidden bullish divergence off that last low. Trend plus momentum. Yeah, I do look for this one to pop back up here. Although it's not a 4 hour, so play at your own risk, my friend. War Crypto, appreciate that, brother, but no message. What's going on here? What's going on? Lost my place again. Oh boy. Right. Okay, we're almost at the very end here. Holy shit, this has only been an hour and 30 minutes. What the hell? Seems like it's been a lot longer, actually. Hey, what's up, Pablo? Good mornings. Can you please look at Peloton stock? Okay, Peloton. I think that was Peloton. Yeah, that's how you spell it on NASDAQ. Is this like some sort of a conditioning bike or something? Daily death cross coming in line relatively soon. As long as it sinks below 105, I do play at long-term downside. Now, what time frame did you? You did not give me a time frame. Let's see. Let's go down to lower term time frames. I do think that it has a continuation of this bounce. Continuation of bounce probably tests a little bit above $100. But here's the thing: as long as this thing is below 105, I do look at any sort of a move towards 105 as potentially displaying the death cross right there. With that said, above 105, no longer at least short-term, medium-term bearish. I would look for a continuation of the run to at least 115, maybe even 123. But for now, short-term up, yes. I would be cautious at 105 though. It's anywhere around 105. Andrew says MGTI. Yep, that's it. That is a Bitcoin miner, right? MGTI. Here we go. MGT Capital Investment. Yeah, it doesn't look too good. Looks rather shitty, sir. I'd be looking for this one to come back down to like 3.5 cent long term. Hey, what's up, DL? Krown, I can't thank you enough for the hey man, my pleasure, man. Tips to get past fear of trading. And also, I swear you're the James Mercer's twin. Who the fuck is that? I don't know who that is. I should look it up, man. I actually, maybe I shouldn't look it up, because anytime that someone says I look like someone else, it's like, oh fuck, this is terrible. This is really bad. I'm gonna look it up right now, but not on screen, because I've learned my lesson. Do not in any way, shape, or form do Googling action on a live stream. This looks like a kid, man, and it's also a girl. Wait, what the fuck? Oh wait, I typed in James Murder, James Mercer. That how the fuck did that happen? From the Shins? Oh, nice. He's a handsome fellow. He looks like Brian Callen, actually. Okay, tips to get past fear of trading. Okay, tips to get past fear of trading. All right, so getting past the fear of trading is the same thing as getting past the fear of just about anything else in the world. It comes with experience and progressive desensitization. How do you accomplish progressive desensitization? You expose yourself to that fear over and over and over again in a safe environment. And once you get familiar with it, it no longer affects you in the same way. It's not necessarily that you lose your sense of fear. It's that you become more brave and courageous in face of that. So within the context of trading, how do you cultivate something like that? Well, you quite literally just put on fucking trades. And how can you do that without having risk of finances? Do it on a demo account or do it on a very low dollar account. That's what you should be doing. And that will naturally build up your confidence if you are having success with that, which you then should start to become more confident. And then, well, your fears will naturally subside as you realize that this is quite literally just a game of statistics and probabilities. And if it's a game of statistics and probabilities, why would you get fearful about something that has, let's say, a 60% probability to be successful in your favor, when over time, you know that that's going to come with wins and losses? You wouldn't if you're thinking logically. Now, the problem is we don't think logically because we're fucking human beings. Hambo Crypt says FTM BTC daily weekly. All right, man. FTM BTC. All right, daily weekly. Binance we'll go to. Daily's good. Daily's bounced off the 21 right there. I still like it. Hidden bullish evidence off that last one, but I think that's already played out. Weekly is more toppy looking to me. Bearish divergence, potential in progress here. So maybe a little bit of a short-term up. It's hard to hate though here, man. It is hard to hate. I don't feel as confident on this one. Here's what I can do for you, or at least here's how I'd look at it. Above this level right here, 1470, I'm bullish, looking probably for a retest of prior highs and probably new highs. You do have higher lows coming in from this area right here, 12, let's just call it 1200 Satoshis. As long as you're above there, I do play this one to the upside, but I would express concern with it. We are seeing a lot of conflicting signals here, and that's why I do hesitate on this one. If it breaks below this level at about 12, or it's more like 1240 actually, I'd be looking for a nice big markdown to about 1,000 Satoshis. So that's what I'd say. Tentatively bullish. However, if that condition is met, I'm looking for some serious downside there, or relatively serious downside. Is this pre-recorded, says GHB? Actually, no, sir. It's actually live. It's actually live, as the YouTube say. Mr. Plums is in the house now. How you doing, Mark B? There he is. Fucking nice, man. How's your mom doing? As I hear from the Discord sections. There's all sorts of things going on with that. Andrew McWalter says, hey, Krown, hey, man. Can you check out a Link Ethereum? Actually, we looked at that earlier, and I think it was looking like absolute dog shit, in fact. Let's check it out right now. 4 hours specifically here. Not good. Hidden bearish divergence off that last high. I'd be looking for a retest of lows. What is this? Like 108, 108, 109 butyrols. 108 butylix right there. Terrence Duffy says, can we look at GBP USD? I'm trading the exotics. Sure. So you're looking at the pound. Why? Oh, this is a crypto. Okay. No, it is the pound versus the dollar. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, is this the same? I'm guessing this is not the same thing as the pound. This I'd be bullish on. Short term up, 141 on the 4 hours specifically. Let's see. Let's go to the daily as well. Oh, this is a great chart. This is a good chart right here. I'd be looking for this one to retest highs and very likely make new highs. This is obvious reaccumulation right here. It's getting ready for a nice breakout, I think. Again, another chart that is just different, man. Your appearance on Ivan on Tech brought me to you. Yeah, man, that was a long time ago now. I haven't spoken with Ivan in a while, but I really do like Ivan as a person, as I do like all of the big, I pretty much like all the big YouTubers. Crypto, like that guy is actually really fucking cool in person. Ivan, same thing. Elliot is a really, really good friend. He's great. Who else? K-Dub from Crypto Zombie. Holy shit, man. Excellent. I really like Mitch Ray. I think he's doing a lot of good things. Who else? There's a lot of other guys too, but those guys are kind of like the face of crypto right now, I think, and probably a few others that I'm definitely forgetting, but that's just the early mornings getting to me right now. David says, Krown, can you please do a full video on every setup you do on TradingView, please? There is a video on the TradingView setup, sir, but still just one video on all your setups on your TradingView. There is actually a public video on this YouTube channel for that, and there's also a video in the program for that as well. So I definitely suggest checking out that. Now, I have changed my setup over time, but you're not going to see anything like too different there. So yeah, I don't think I'd have like anything massively new to add, to be fair. Unless you're just looking for my secondary charts over here. It's just different indicators, but I have a feeling that you can figure out the indicators. You're probably looking for like the settings and whatnot. They're pretty much consistent amongst amongst those videos. So I'd point you in that direction first, and then maybe ask a more directed question, like exactly what are you looking for? Because I don't think I've changed the actual settings of this that much. Mr. DeCamps, back at it, El Capitan. Mining company perspective, they mine blocks, earn Bitcoin, but when they mine that Bitcoin, is it a hoarding mentality versus trading that Bitcoin? So miners, just like traders, just like investors, they all have different ways kind of be playing around, right? But here's the thing. In general, what is a miner doing? Well, their business is to, well, mine Bitcoin. And then I'd imagine within the context of a bull market, they're probably not selling as much. They probably are accumulating at least a little bit and then selling some against their positions on futures contracts, as is smart to do. I mean, you can lock in a profit at a future date, at a locked in price. You know your your balance sheet in advance. Excellent. That is going to be the name of the game. In a bear market, you're probably just gonna be dumping on futures. locking that price immediately, because you don't want to deal with the animosity of where price action can be when you actually do want to let it go. So miners they know their cost of production, and then they also know what the price of Bitcoin is trading at on a future date as well, based off of future contracts. So that's how they typically manage their sort of inventory. But I am not a miner myself. I've only spoken with a few, and so I imagine they're just like trading. There's a lot of different styles, but that's what I'd guess for the more successful ones of them. All right. Holy moly, man. Oh my god. It never ends. Ibbies, what's up, man? Hey, Z's. Hello, Mr. Z's. Matic 4 hour daily. All right, Matic. Let's see. We're gonna go USD, seeing as you did not say, so I'm just gonna guess. 4 hour daily. Nice. We got time frames. Daily looks good. Breakout. Continuation. Now, it should be denoted, this breakout is certainly losing a lot of momentum here. I don't know how much more this one has to go. I think it's got maybe one more drive here. Bearish divergences are forming all the way through. 1, 2, 3 drives working on. Is this a confirmed local high though just yet? No, it is not. I need to see it come back down below about 145 for me to talk about this as a local high, and then I would be looking for a move back down to about $1, 105 region. But for now, I would be looking for one more drive to the upside at the very least. Weekly's strong as fuck. There's nothing bearish about the weekly. 4 hours specifically is a little bit of sideways. If you're looking at the 4 hour range, something like this right now, nothing too crazy here. Breakout above about 180, and you got new highs in order. And what I'd be looking towards, well, we can probably, we've already hit all these targets over here, so fair enough. It's kind of in no man's land now. I do think that the rally is probably going to come to a precipice relatively soon though. David S says Elon Musk said he's not sold any Bitcoin, market recovering. Yeah, again, I mean, that's kind of what I was alluding to earlier. He never said that he actually sold any. He just said indeed to a tweet that someone who apparently is like a known scammer put out. It's like the market is so crazy, man. The market is so crazy. War Crypto has removed his message again. How dare you? Why? Why did you do that? Dude Daddy says 1,300 watching, only 388 likes. Don't smash the like button, guys. Break it. It's all good, man. You can't force people to like. You can't force people to subscribe. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do, man. I'll be here either which way, and it's all good. It's all good. I never want to be that person who's like, don't forget to like and subscribe and tickle that bell. It's like, look, man, if you have to be told to do that in order to do that, well, it's probably not a good fit. It's probably not a good fit anyways, man. But I do massively appreciate the support. I don't want to sound like I'm unappreciative of that, Mr. Dude Daddy. I do massively appreciate it, but it just makes me appreciate it more when people do it on their own volition. All right, War Crypto says, can you check out AMC stock? Sure. No time frames given though, so I'm gonna roll with this one on the daily and weekly probably. Daily is looking good. Daily has a clear reaccumulation after a break of long-term trend. I do like that. Got something like this going on right now, but short-term, does it sell back down? Maybe play within this down to like 11.5. Yeah, possible. Long-term, weekly, I do think that it gives another try to the upside, but that can take some time. Yeah, 11.5 bucks is a nice base on the weekly here. A break above last week's high at about 14.5, and I look for this one to retest highs on this run. Probably somewhere around like, $20 actually. $30 good. So fair enough. Pablo says, hi brother, what's up, man? Can you please look at Twitter? Yeah, yes, actually yes. And you say Elon trying to compete with Trump. Hey man, appreciate that. Okay, so wow, Twitter is really getting wrecked right here. I'd be looking for a bounce here regardless of whether you're bullish or bearish on the weekly. Bounce back up to like 55.5 to $56. I do believe that we did call this downside move rather well last week, down to about, I think 54. So we actually got a little more continuation on that, but it is ready for a bounce here. I'd be looking for a bounce back up. Yeah, anywhere around about 58-ish region, give or take. A few bucks there. Long term, is it done? I don't know about long term, man. This is kind of nasty long term. Long term, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see this thing come down to like 46 to $47 and play at a bigger bounce there. But at least short term, a little bit of bounce. And then figure it out after that. I'm not so sure about the long term. Hey, what's up, Mr. Fi? Sir, are you trading any shitcoins? No, I do not trade shitcoins. I don't really trade anything that's not even Bitcoin. I just don't like the fact that there's a lack of liquidity, because in times like this, when you actually need it, it can be quite the career-ending move if it's not there for you. So, altcoins, yeah, they do move more than Bitcoin, of course. But Bitcoin has 100x leverage, so if you really want to get going on that, I mean, I feel like you can kind of simulate those sort of same percentage moves, anyways. So, and Bitcoin has more liquidity to begin with. So, midsummer is the 25th of June. So maybe we'll do one. Maybe we'll do like a short one for Memorial Day or something. That one's coming up a little bit sooner, and might as well prepare for summer, anyways. All right, let's see. Oh, wow, we are almost at the end here. Holy shit. Jason Floor says, look at SHIB USD so I can laugh to the moon. Oh, boy. All right, let's check it out. Doggy for life. All right. Doggy till the day that I die, huh? SHIB USD, goddamn. Binance? Wow. It only goes down, baby. It only goes down. Pretty much the epitome of a shitcoin chart. Starts off over here, and then it's down, down, down we go. Now, to be fair, there's not much history on this one, so it's like, how much do you trust them like this? I don't. I don't trust a chart like this, but yeah, it's for the information that we do have. I mean, I don't expect any sort of a reversal here anytime soon. This is, we're seeing the hourly turn down right now, but it is a fucking hourly after all. So I don't trust it that much, but pretty bad chart for the history that we do have, to be fair. All right, let's see. Jose Kutzer. Hey, what's up, man? Thanks. Thank you. KSM USDT on Binance. Okay. And this one's getting a lot of love recently too. Very popular one, bouncing back up here. I still like this chart, actually. This is a hard chart to hate. I like the break above prior highs. Yes, technically you close right at that precipice right there, but that's okay. Weekly is still powerful as all hell. I'd be looking for new highs on this one probably this week, maybe next week. I'd be looking. Yeah, look at this, man. So it sold off perfectly off the one spot 414. I don't look for reversals off that level. I only look for short-term down. Long-term, I'd be looking much further north, actually. Probably into the 800s, maybe even 1,000. That is long-term, though. So I don't know which time frame you're looking at there, but short-term, just sideways and up is what I'd be looking for. This is a pretty good chart, to be fair. Again, one of the better acting ones, but not as good as some of the other ones. Krown, are you selling your Lambo to buy Bitcoin? If not, has one going. I'd prefer a new one without the I won't even finish that sentence. Won't even finish it, man. Mr. Chris, I love you, sir. Dr. Boots. Dr. Boots, I appreciate that, man, but no comments. No comment. Chris would be a really fucking fun guy to party with. I would tell you that. Kendrick says, El Capitan and Elsa of the Cave always deliver. My fucking man, I salute you, sir. I salute you. The shitcoin police are inbound, Mr. Andrew. Frank Corsetti says, can you check out MN? Oh my god, that is gonna fuck my dyslexia right there. All right, here we go. Mind medicine. All right. Not enough history here, really. This is a 4-hour. We barely can populate moving averages for right now. Short term, a little bit of a continuation of like 336, I think is somewhat obvious, but I can't in good faith give you an analysis on this thing, man. I don't think that technical analysis works on something that's this new. I mean, we can't even populate oscillators on a daily for right now, to put in perspective. So I do think it's maybe got a short-term move upside here, but you know how it is when it's just straight down here. It does kind of look like a biotech, so maybe they have like some sort of secret drug phase going on, a drug trial phase going on, and I don't know, maybe it pumps out of that. But at least short term, yeah, a little bit of upside, but I'm always hesitant on something that just dumps down after IPO. Alrighty, sirs. I think I'm at the end. I'm at the end of the 2 hours here. Holy shit, these streams have been getting longer and longer. Fucking fun times, man. Absolutely fun times. But I do want to wish everyone well. I'll be back on tomorrow. I do need to rest my voice because I'm actually starting to get a little bit wrecked. I think I might be getting a bit sick myself. Old ticket was NMEDF. Okay, we can check out that really quick. All right, just really quick for you, Mr. Frankie. NMEDF. All right. It's not on TradingView anymore, unfortunately, so I cannot check it out on sir. So again, I want to wish everyone well. It's been an absolute pleasure. Really enjoyed these times. All jokes aside, at the beginning, hopefully if this market is affecting you right now, at the very least you can look at it as some sort of like a learning experience long term, because these things are actually very powerful if you want for the long term. as far as learning goes. So with that said, I salute everyone out there. Massively appreciate all of the good chat, and all the good banter. I'll be back on tomorrow. Like I said, Mr. Africa, there he is, my fucking man. Yasik as well. Absolutely love it, man. Absolutely fucking love it. The homies are back in the house. Anyways, I'm gonna be signing off now, fellas. Take care and see you hopefully soon.
Christmas dildos moving up and down. They'll call and crypto crown. You've got to TA to be free. Learn how to surf in the deep red sea. Trend lines, average values, RSI. Lift ocean coins to the sky. From distributor into XRP. Oh, bear Jesus set us free. Crypto what? Crypto crown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto crown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final countdown. Open has the mastermind. Dive into crypto cave and let's go for a ride. The whales are coming very soon, very soon. Up to the moon in the afternoon. Crypto what? Crypto crown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final crypto what? Crypto crown. Drifting Lambos through your town. Hodlers better buckle down, 'cause it's the final